today.
Save Nature TV. News in your pocket.
Well, thanks for staying with us and welcome to our interview session. And we are having a very interesting topic this morning. We're discussing current status of disability rights in Nigeria. Our guest is a person living with disability, and her name is Precious Henry, and she is live in our studio this morning to do justice to this subject matter. Good morning, Precious.
Good morning, beauty.
Oh, can you tell that I'm blushing already?
I know it's written all over you.
So thank you so much for coming in
you.
this morning
Thank
to
you.
have this conversation. So, disability rights, it's usually something that people are not so much aware of, well, until someone close to them or they themselves, go through probably an eventuality that gets them disabled in some ways. So what exactly are disability rights, and why are those rights important?
Beautiful. Thank you so much. First of all, I want to appreciate Signature TV for having me here to talk about this very important topic.
Okay.
You see, like you rightly said, people do not talk about disability until it happens to them or around them.
Mm-hmm.
And for us as a nation, disability right, it's something that is not everyday topic. While as we speak here, someone somewhere is getting disabled. Possibly someone somewhere is losing his or her sight. Someone somewhere is losing his hearing or speaking ability. Someone somewhere is getting on the wheelchair either because of spinal cord injury or road traffic accident. Someone somewhere is undergoing leg or hand amputation. Are you getting what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Someone somewhere is giving birth to an autistic child. These are persons with disability. Polio survivors. Yeah, so disability is every minute thing in our today's world. But the rights that protect them is often not being talked about. So for us as a nation, like I said, disability right, of course, spans from the United Nations on the Convention on Rights of Persons with Disability. It's a treaty, a right that globally the whole world came together and said, this is the right that will protect persons with disability. Bringing it down here to us as a country in Nigeria, there is a right, our Nigerian with Disabilities Act, an act that protects persons with disability. Well, this right protects our day-to-day right. It takes disability from charity to human rights. It takes disability from this charity-based appealing, begging, to the right base. So it's a right that shifts disability from charity to right base. That is to say, the way Chigi will be treated as a person without disability is the way Precious should be treated, a Precious that is a person with disability. So put together, these are rights that protects our human rights.
Interesting. Before we get into Nigeria, because you did mention United Nations Convention on the Rights of Persons with Disabilities, so it's global. Yeah. However, we want to let's discuss if this has been ratified in Nigeria, what's the level of implementation?
Oh yeah, it has been ratified.
Okay.
In fact, Nigerians signed that law and ratified it as well. 2007. They joined the entire United Nations to put pen on paper to say, we Nigerians, we want to protect the rights of our persons with disability. They also ratified it. That's in 2007. Now, 2018, Nigerians with Disabilities Act was passed into law. 2018.
Okay.
And then our then president of blessed memory, President
Muhammadu
Buhari, he put pen on paper January 2019. Now, you're asking the level of implementation.
Yes.
As we speak, Nigeria is 65 years old. And if you check from 2007, when United Nations on the Convention on the Rights of Persons with Disability was actually signed into law and ratified, to where we are now, how many years? Now, this is over, if you punch your calculator from 2007 to 2025, look at the gap. We are still at the zero level of implementation, and I can tell you with evidence. Yes, we have passed our Nigerian with Disability Act. We've passed it into law, but our implementation, we talked about access, we talked about inclusion, we talked about social security. All those things are not yet implemented. Fine, our country really did well to establish this act, and they took a step further to possibly establish the commission that houses,
I was going to ask you about
that houses persons with disability.
About the commission.
Yes, but can I shock you? The budgetary allocation that should actually address the core issues in this law is not well captured, is not well factored in. Because in the first place, we don't even have statistics that shows these are a number of persons with disability that the commission is catering for. And as such, budget is almost at, it's just like where you have a father who married 5 wives, and each of these wives has about 5 or 7 children, and the man is bringing out 10,000 naira to share across. How do you expect that to be enough for about 50 children or 25 children? So you see that, because, and this one, I'm even like a rod, maybe the wife, he even knows this is the number of children my various wives. So there is no statistics speaking that these are number of persons with disability in our country. And as such, implementation has been so much delayed. Secondly, coming to the policy that drives this implementation. Now, let me take you a little away from this implementation. In our country, I hope you know there are a lot of insecurity.
Sure.
And because I listened keenly to the speech of our dear president, His Excellency President Tinubu. He talked about inheriting liability. He's correct. He's very, very much correct. The level of insecurity in our nation, can I tell you that if we trace who are the perpetrators of that insecurity, do you know who are those people? Persons with disability. I know this might sound crazy.
Could you say that again?
Yes. In our country, our president inherited problem from what he said. And he's right. He's right. The level of insecurity that is being perpetuated, who are those people doing that insecurity? And I said, they are persons with disability. If you want to address, I'm coming, I will explain. If you want to address the issue of insecurity, and you are not addressing it from the root, you can't solve it. If you want to stop security, address the issues of persons with disability. Now let me explain. Few years ago, our Nigerian opened Commission for Almajiri. We advocated and advocated and advocated. They opened a commission for the Almajiris. You know, in the northern part.
Yes.
You see this child, 3, 4, 5 years. He or she is already separated from the parents. I'm a mother. I know what bonding means.
Yes.
And at 4, 5 years, this child is already separated from her mother, from her parents, out there in the streets. No love, no care, nothing. The child is out there in the street to cater for himself. Before you know it, that child moves into post-traumatic stress disorder. Day by day, the mental health of this child is deteriorating. Everything that child sees is hatred. No love, no care. To complicate it, a group of people will now come and recruit them into terrorism. We have a name for them. That same child who was thrown out into the streets, who is now suffering, because post-traumatic stress disorder is a type of disability. Before you know it,
A mental disability.
it's a mental disability. To have this survival mechanism, he's already recruited. Why would he be recruited? He wants a better life. Before you know it, insecurity sets in, terrorism sets in, the same child. To address this matter, why not pick these almajiris out of the streets? Cater for them. Give them basic education. Give them the basic needs of life. Attend to their basic needs of life. Don't you think that if we do that, we've addressed insecurity to a reasonable extent? Recruiting these people into terrorism, recruiting them into this banditry and all these things will stop. Now, if we have established an Almajiri Commission, we've established it, how much care, how much budget is being given? Are they being catered for? Are they being cared for? Are they receiving the necessary social security that they should receive? Now, if we should address these root causes of our problem, if we should address this root cause, we've addressed to a great extent the issues of security, banditry, banditry, and all this menace happening in our country.
Wow, honestly, Precious, you just blew my mind, and I'm sure you blew someone's mind listening to you now based on, your analysis, the analysis you just put forward. But there are a few things I was able to pick out, the root causes of insecurity in Nigeria, and of course, everything snowballing down to poor implementation of the Disability Act. You did mention street children, taking care of street children. You did mention, somehow, poverty as a root cause, because it's poverty that will probably drive a child out of the home at that age. Now, talking to you and listening to you speak, there was a documentary I watched sometime. It came to my mind. It's about the birth of the Disability Act in the US. It started as a camp. It's called Creek Camp, by the way, the name of it. I'm sure you must have seen it. All right. So it started with a group of teenagers that went to a camp, just to discover themselves and have fun. But it snowballed into the American Disability Act, and of course, these other things that came up to address the issues of persons with disability. So I'm saying all this to say, government doesn't pay attention until there's probably a paradigm shift, or there's serious pressure from pressure groups, or very intense advocacy. I'm not throwing this back at you. I'm just saying, is there any advocacy on ground? You also mentioned the problem of poor data availability as a root cause. Is there any advocacy maybe from your group or from a civil society organization to mount pressure on government, maybe to start with data analysis to understand how many people in our space are we talking about? Because without numbers, you can't effectively budget. So is there anything on ground?
Yes.
Advocacy, tell us about it.
Oh, beautiful, beautiful. As we speak, there are long lists of advocacy groups. In fact, our Nigerian with Disability Act, it's a reality today because some people put put their lives on the line and say, we must get this. And I want to, let me pause here to appreciate the person we call the father and the mother of disability in Nigeria. He's Chief Eric Ndubeze and Lady Omotunde Thompson. Chief Eric Ndubeze, he is the President and founder of Equal Rights of Persons with Disability based in Houston, Texas, US. He is the person that stood and put pen on paper for Nigeria in United Nations Convention on Rights of Persons with Disability.
Wow.
Lady Omotunde Thompson is she's a co-founder of Joint National Association of Persons with Disability. These are founding fathers and mothers that said, from their own pockets, they said, persons with disability in Nigeria must get. These are people that negotiated with presidents. I don't want to bore you with the stories of how they negotiated from the regime of Obasanjo to Buhari. They've been out there putting out their own money. At times they will be asked to get out of the, the buildings, and they, at times firing squad, everything. They will say no. As we speak today, by Monday I'll be going to Abuja for this same advocacy to meet with some relevant
stakeholders.
Yes, to say Nigerian with Disability Act is defective. Yes, with all thanks to our late president of blessed memory, who helped us to put pen on paper. But as beautiful as we could have that gift, it's okay, but it's not
robust enough.
That's what I'm trying to say. Now, we keep saying nothing about us without us. Shigi, there is no how you cry my cry more than me. You can only say, oh, precious, sorry.
I can only empathize. Yeah.
But you're not the one that is not saying for me. So there is no how you are talking about me. You want to cook food for me, and you're not asking me what food do you want to eat. You are putting out an act, and you are not bringing us at the table to say, please, can we do it this way? Can we do it this way? And that was this non-implementation we're talking about. Nothing about us without us. Article 4.3 of United Nations Convention on Rights of Persons with Disability. And now this act was put together without adequate inputs of persons with disability. Garbage in,
Garbage out.
Now, this advocacy now is saying, please, sir, can we modify? How much health security is given in that act? How we say 5%. Even the 5%, is it being implemented? So there are advocacy groups. We have the pioneers, we have the Jonapit, we have the Equal Right. I mean, like I told you, there are long lists. But that's just to say that there are advocacy groups mounting pressure on regular negotiating. Our National Commission, there should be a certain amount of budget allocated to them to cater for our people.
To run operations.
Why we negotiate to get the adequate data that will match it. But the one that even our data is speaking to, give it to us.
Yeah. So
we are pressurizing. We are not resting.
No.
Because someone have to take this step to say, please, this really belongs to me. And that's where we talk about rights-based. If you say you're gonna give 5% of your job, when Signature TV is recruiting, you are recruiting your new staff. We want to say that 5% of that new recruit, any person with disability who qualifies should take it. That's what that inclusion. So there are pressure groups and mounting pressure on advocacy, saying, please, we want to have it. Let the right thing be done. Let this person enjoy the rights statutorily that you've put pen on paper.
Precious, this your submission really hit home. And I was going to ask you, let's talk about challenges for a bit. You did say that, yes, I could empathize, but I can never feel what you're feeling. What are the challenges? I know there are general challenges for persons with disability, but let's bring it home a little bit for women with disability.
Oh, beautiful.
What are their challenges?
Wow. You just touched the
I know
the softest part.
I know.
You know, I'm very in the disability community. I'm very much particular to two groups. You see, children with disability.
Yeah.
You see, women with disability. I'm very much particular. They are most vulnerable among the vulnerable.
Yes.
Now, let me start. You know, I'm an Igbo woman. Permit me to say this in Igbo. Miri ne sinisi sorobadatawa. Meaning, the river used to flow from the where? The head and
comes down.
Fine. There are lots of challenges women with disabilities are facing. But let me speak to the two that is very passionate to my heart now. We said about 35% in our representation at the lawmakers, whatever, government, fine. How many
affirmative action, that's what you're talking about.
Good. How many women with disabilities are in the law making chamber, the senators, the House of Reps? Do you think there are no women with disabilities who are coming out to contest? They are coming out. The same discrimination. Oh, would they deliver? Can they? No, they are not being given their place. For us, that is the first stigmatization and discrimination. And that is pointing to non-implementation. Because you put pen on paper at the United Nations Convention on Rights of Persons with Disability. Inclusion. So where are we not being given our place? What about Kenya? That have exclusively reserved a number of seats. We have a Kenyan senator. In South Africa, we have them. So what if our nation could be that nice to say this is what we've signed, to say these seats are reserved? And that will further strengthen the welfare, the care that these women will step down to their people, because they are the center table where decisions are being made. Secondly, women with disability faced social discrimination in the society. If we have 100 women with disability who are potentially able to marry, I'm not sure about 40 of them are married. Why wouldn't we marry them? Are they not women? Can they put to bed? I'm a mother. I'm visually impaired. I've heard a lot of things. At times people would say, how precious, how... I recall when I was pregnant of my last baby. Hey, one day somebody said, hey, who did this thing to you? It will never be well with the person. I'm like, what? I'm married. I'm legally married. Does it mean a blind woman can't have a baby? Does it mean I can't be pregnant? I recall one day one person just came to see how I was breastfeeding my baby. So women with disability, when it comes to love, so they are being discriminated because the people feel they cannot really make a good home. But let me shock you. For some of us who are there, we could tell you that our men that are marrying us will tell you that this is the right choice I've made in life. So for me, I'll hit it at that. There are lots more. Be it in education, be it in employment. Yes. There are still a lot.
It's as though you are in my head, because they are just lined up that way: employability, education, and things like that. But how do women, how are they able to navigate sexual, harassment, and things like that? Do you have a hub where these things are taken care of?
Are being addressed.
Yes.
A few months ago, the UN opened a portal on the Conference on the Status of Women, opened the portal to tender a petition for women, and all of this revolves around gender-based violence. In fact, I like that this question is coming from you. because gender-based violence was another thing I wanted to talk about. Gender-based violence is not just like the act, but it's about not getting regress when you even tender your petition. Now you asked me, do we have a hub where all of these happens? My dear, if I come to you and say, Chigo, hey, someone slapped me. Oh, someone slapped you? Oh, I see. Okay. I've noted that. 1 month, 2 months, 3 years, 4 years, 10 years, no action. What do you think? The person will slap me heavier again and again and again. We've watched before our eyes where issues of gender-based are being tabled for the right action to be taken. Even when we have laws and policies backing up, saying these are commensurate punishment for this act, you still find out that one way or the other, there will be jungle justice. So I'm trying to say that there are gender-based violence happening even as we speak everywhere, at the workplace. Women with disabilities are being violated. It's happening everywhere. But it's beyond the violence. When we even tender, say, this is what is happening, do we get regress? No. So that is even a bigger problem. I'll tell you, I want to drink water, and you're not giving me the water, and there is water for me to drink. It's a big problem.
Do you have some sort of collaborations with organizations, non-governmentals that address gender-based violence? We know one in Enugu. Is there any kind of collaboration where you take, because we've had stories of gender-based violence and harassment, and this particular organization actually goes out, arrests this person, gets the process is rolling for the person's prosecution. So is there any plans of working with such organizations to see how you can get redress for issues like this?
Yes. I wouldn't know, for the want of space where we are, I could have called names. Yes, there are collaboration both at the national and locally. We have, because I want you to understand that the development space thrives better with networking. So you can't really do much as a single entity if you do not collaborate or network with organizations. So we have organizations we network with, we collaborate to ensure that this actually happens. But let me also tell you, people do not put their best foot when it has to do with disability and when they are not getting any profit from it. So I've witnessed a situation where a woman with disability was in fact, there's a particular case I am on now. We've even taken it to ICPC. We've tendered petition. We've gone to court, back and forth. Because it's a person with disability, they will shy away. They're not going to get anything from it. And many times we pay out of pocket to our lawyers to come and say, please come and defend us. But there are people that could still give pro bono services within the government space. So what do? We network. We have our lawyers, persons with disability who are lawyers, who leverage their services to say, it is our problem, it's our cross, so let's carry it. So I'm trying to say that, yes, we have networks of people who collaborate. But let me also tell you that people really do not do much when they know that nothing is going to come out of it.
I was going to ask you, what should be the way forward? But before we get there, I'm looking at you and you're projecting so much confidence, so much power, so much passion. What's the story, Precious? How did you get here?
Oh my God, this is actually one question I really don't.
Okay, you're not comfortable.
No, okay. Not about, but for me, we are still on this journey.
Definitely.
Until we get there, we can't say we've arrived. We've not arrived. We are still on the journey.
But you're way ahead.
But so far, so good. I must really tell you. I wasn't born blind, anyways. Of course, I met blindness as an. I was done with my nursing, my midwifery. I'm a nurse by profession.
My goodness.
I finished my nursing. I finished my midwifery. I had my 2 kids by then. My first son and my first daughter. I've already had them by then. I lost my sight 2013 after a brief illness, and wow. Let me not bore you.
No, please bore me, please. Please. Please.
So, you know, I didn't just become this bold and confident. This person seated before you, I've attempted suicide on 3 occasions.
My goodness.
I've given up. I've been through a lot of things. But you know one thing that really kept me. In fact, several times I've been, come on, I want to die. Because I was already walking. Everything was really working out fine for me, and boom,
a curved ball.
This thing happened. So,
take your time.
It's a journey of resilience. Just tell yourself, look, no matter what, I must make it.
But there had to be a paradigm shift for you.
Now, that's what I'm saying. Something happened one day. My dad took me to, in one of those my darkest moments, because I lost my sight 2013, like I said. So one of those my darkest moments, I was all locked up in the house, nowhere, I mean everything. So my dad called and they wanted to take me to somewhere. They told them, okay, someone will attend to my eyes, and eventually I went. They say no, they referred me to someone. So I thought they were referring me to an ophthalmologist. Okay, they said a neuro ophthalmologist. I said okay, fine. Only for me to arrive there, it was a lady with that tender little voice, and we go to say, please be careful, oh, don't step on me. I'm like, excuse me, what is it? So the person that came with me was like, this lady coming is holding a stick. It's like she's blind. I'm like, what? What's going on here?
Yeah, you're trying to make sense of.
So she came, be careful, don't step on me. I'm like, I was crying.
Yeah.
So like, please, if you want to cry, go outside. When you're done crying, you come back. I'm like, what is going on here? Well, to cut the long story short, we got talking. She said, Nne, if you cry till 10 years to come, it will not change.
Tough love. Tough love.
So you better tell yourself, this is my real life now. Accept it, deal with it, and move on. Her name is Ebere Zugo. She's a visually impaired woman.
Are you kidding me?
You know her?
No, but you know, I didn't think she was from the story so far.
So now she took me through this process of, in fact, she did more of the computer rehabilitation. In fact, she did more of the mental health rehabilitation.
Yes, yes, exactly.
Than the computer thing. Because at times she would just come say, how come? I'm trying to find my way with the computer. I say, ma, how are you doing this? I'll just get frustrated and pam. You say, if you spoil your computer, it is your problem. Before you know it, the spirit.
That's right.
I started feeling strong. So many times I've been turned down. People say, no, you can't do this. You're a blind man. And then I recall trying to renew my license as a nurse. They said, no. Then I said, excuse me. Look, I didn't get myself blind. If you don't renew my license, I will sue you people. By the time they knew I was serious, they asked me to come and renew. I did all the mandatory courses. I renewed. As we speak now, I'm a nursing student in National Open University doing my BNSC.
Brilliant.
So now, like I said, it's a gradual process. I wasn't like this. If you had met me like 2013, 2014, 2015, you would have been talking to a vegetable. You would have been talking to this woman that can't even speak for 3 minutes. I'll be crying.
Break down.
Now,
wow.
What's my message to any person with disability listening to me Now, the best you can do for yourself. I had a story with a young man this morning who is actually going through a process of visual impairment. And I'm like, what? Now, the first thing you could do for yourself as a person with disability is to accept yourself. Tell yourself, this is my reality. You got to deal with it. And this is where I always say our law, our policy. We create peer support where we provide support to ourselves. I share my story. A young person who may be currently losing his or her sight hears that my story. As a person with lived experience, the person gets encouraged.
That's right.
Buckle up and step up and say, I will face life as well. That's how the story will change. So, the resilience, the confidence that comes being a person with disability, we can actually learn it when we share our experience. The other person will come and share his or her own experience. This was what I went through when I lost my sight. This was how I... Some other person, it could be the family. I've heard a lot of persons with disability that when they lose their sight or when they become disabled, spinal cord, their spouses will leave them. A lot of stories like that. And somebody will not come and say, this was how I overcame my own. This was how I survived it. And the other person who could be currently going through the same situation will now do what? Pick up from that lived experience and move up with life.
Absolutely, you're so correct. And you did mention in your last submission about families, spouses that abandon their wards and their relatives because of disability. Can we talk a little bit about children with disability, children with usually mental disability? It will interest you to know that I work with an organization that caters to children with special needs. Those with autism, there are a whole lot of them, cerebral palsy, seizure disorders.
Yeah.
Now, in a line of work, we got to find out, actually we work with a particular therapeutic school in Enugu.
Oh, beautiful.
So you find out that some parents will come, register the child, put the child in the boarding house and just disappear. You try to reach them, they dropped a false address, false phone number.
Oh.
Same thing with another lady who is doing marvelous work here in Enugu. She has a home for kids with special needs. In fact, there's an outreach this November there.
Yeah.
When she started and people knew that she would ask, because it was like a ministry to her. They will come dump a child and take off. How do we address this issue of abandonment by parents and wards?
Beautiful. You see this thing you're saying here. This is October, right?
October, yes.
Around this time last year, I intervened into I keep saying for the want of space where we are, a particular parent who almost withdrew. Incidentally, her only son. Do you get? Her only son from school. And I'm like, excuse me, madam. Okay, she saw me in one of my outreaches, okay, I was doing for community outreaches for persons with disability. And she was like, okay, see what I'm going through. And I'm pulling, I said, what? Excuse me, can I see the child? I saw the child. My heart bled. Now, she was, in fact, she was just the next week to pull out that child. I say, you can't do that. Now, her problem was that from the owner of the school to the classmates, down there at home, the siblings of the boy, they were all mocking and bullying the boy. So she can't face it again. Her heart was already failing her. She was like, well, what else? Where will I dump this boy? I said, look at me very well. When I lost my sight, if my family had dumped me, will you see me doing this outreach I'm doing here? So, if you dump this boy and I pick this boy up, brush him up. Tomorrow, he's being heard all over the world.
Yeah.
Which face will you use and come back? How will you come back to this boy? She paused for a while. In fact, you can hear the sound of a pin.
Yeah.
It drops in that room. She said, okay, so, Mommy Precious, what do I do? I said, care for him, he's your son.
That's right.
Bam. I said, care for him, he's your son. Now, what we did was to link him to this kind of people you're talking about. But you know one thing I've done to her? You dare not dump that child. Now, to answer your question, the first thing first, beyond caring for those children within your CSO or within the organization, is to create a peer support group for these parents, where before a parent brings a child there, he or she is already in your platform with proper contact tracing. You map that parents down to the home, the village, and that parents is bringing that child. There is a second, like a nest of kin you could lay hands on. When you do that kind of due diligence, you onboard them into your platform on consistent basis. If you keep, because even those parents, they need some counseling. They need psychotherapy.
They need emotional support. They
need psychotherapy.
True.
It's not just the child. Do you know what it means? My mom almost lost her life when I lost my sight. That woman didn't eat for days. So it's so traumatizing to see your person, especially those of them with intellectual disability or mental disability. So I think the first thing first is to keep giving orientation to this mother, provide psychotherapy, just as we are caring for these kids, providing all the care. Also do same for the mothers. To a great extent, that will reduce the level of abandonment of these children. To take it a step further, there is need for strong advocacy to the primary caregiver, whether in the school or in the hospital, wherever, because at times it is the attitude of the primary caregiver that causes this problem.
Yes. You know, interestingly, you know, this conversation is just becoming emotional for me, you know, to a reasonable extent, because I also recall another advocacy trip, and it was to the former Commissioner of Education, and he was telling us a story, and he said, talking about children with, you know, special needs and education. So he said he doesn't understand why parents with children with special needs don't even advocate for their children. Yet parents from the other divide will come to his office and insist that there's a child with special needs that was brought into his or her ward's class, and he or she wants that child removed. So you see, the problem is that parents with children with special needs, from our point of view, what they need, what they want sometimes is, are you people going to give us money? Are you going to train the children? They don't want to come together to form a strong front. So it's a problem.
A big problem.
It's a problem.
You see, I can actually relate to what you're saying, because I work in the development space. I work for a particular organization that is focused on NTD, and of course, by default, for myself as a nurse, talking about support initiative of persons with disability. Now, I can actually relate a lot. In fact, I've had first-hand experience where I bring my fellow persons with disability. From the little money I save, from the little salary they pay me from where I work, I will save some money, possibly at the end of the year. I say, okay, please, I want to enroll you. From my pocket though, I want to enroll you into health insurance. So that as a person with disability,
you have to pay from out of pocket.
When you go to the clinic or anywhere, at least, if they're, because so many persons with disabilities, they have a lot of comorbidities. So when you go there to, like, maybe your bill is like 50K, you just pay 5K. Don't worry, the health insurance, I'll keep renewing it for you. You know the next thing? Hey, Madam Precious, I'm sick. I'm going to the hospital. Please, you give me money now to just. And I'm like, excuse me. Nobody funded me. Oh. Now me from the little salary where they pay me for where they work. Put my hand and say, please, let's do this.
Entitlement. It's the level of entitlement.
That's where I'm coming to.
It's staggering.
So, and all of this can actually happen from because if I was like that, still looking for who will be dashing me money, I won't be where I am today. So it's that's why I say, you see, the journey of disability, resilience, it's a gradual process. I don't also blame them because the level of poverty, they're not working. But now we are talking about mothers here. You see, you have maybe 2, 3. There are some, I pity some mothers that have up to 2, 3 autistic children. Yeah. I mean, it's so overwhelming.
It's overwhelming.
It's so overwhelming. So, but I think that boils down to policy. There are ways for instance, in Americans with Disability Act, do you know if you're born as a child and you have disability, from your first birthday, you're on social security insurance. By the first day of the month, Magam,
they pay you.
The government is paying your money to your parents for doing what? For caring for that child. If you're an adult with disability, Magam, you have your own. Are you getting what I'm saying? Now, this is where we are crying. We persons with disability, we are doing our head, we no go agree, we no go agree. Do this thing where you promise us. In this United Nations community, you've put pen on paper now, do this thing for us. You can't be giving 2 billion to a commission that should be paying social security to an autistic child. And you are just trying to see this thing as a charity work. No, it won't work. So at the other hand, I might also not blame, because the parents are thinking that possibly some of them, they even pay tax, they pay all those statutory things. And they say the government should also support to pay these children on how to help reduce burden. But on the other hand, there is also need to strengthen advocacy, to give orientation, both to persons with disability and to parents or family members of persons with disability, to give orientation on this matter.
I don't feel like letting you go, Precious, but because I'm passionate about this too, but I have to behave myself. But I need to ask you this question.
All right, ma'am.
Because you've been saying things about you are in school currently, you know how to handle the computer and things like that. Tell us about that journey. How were you able to master the keyboard?
The keyboard? Oh, come on. I know some persons with visual impairment who could be listening or watching will say, "Oh, come on, but that's a normal thing for."
I mean, where your other senses heightened.
Of course, that's of course.
Really?
Scientifically, of course, this happens to me a lot. Like in my place of work, some of them will come. They are just passing. I say, look, Glory, come here. You're passing me. She will say, how do you know it's me? And somebody will like, yesterday, someone was eating in our office dining, and I came. I wanted to microwave my food. I've already opened. So I was just coming. So another person now walked in and talked to me. So the person sitting didn't want me to know she was there. She was like, she wanted to pretend. So I just told the person that came in, look, I now called down my colleagues. I said, babe, you don't enjoy, like, no one. He said, Precious, you will always track me. I said, oh, you don't hide from me. You don't want me to show me your cheeky. So, you know, that kind of a thing. It happens a lot. Wow. So the point is that scientifically, you know, when you lose one of your sense organs, the other one heightens. There is this compensatory mechanism. Wow. And possibly for the sight,
the ear
heightens.
Oh, wow.
So for visually impaired person, we do a lot with our ear. That's why I don't joke with my ear. I want to protect it from loud sounds, from noise, because I wouldn't want to be double disabled.
Oh, God forbid.
Yeah, because there are a lot. We have deaf blinds.
Mute. Okay, mute is
deaf.
yeah.
The person can.
Yeah.
We have deaf, blind.
They
are
can't
deaf,
see and they can hear.
and
Visually and auditory impairment.
So
Wow.
that's so because your ear is now your
connection to your
everything.
environment.
So your brain, that work that your eye should be doing, sensing, oh, this is what is coming. So your ears now. Okay, something happened the other day. I was in my room. So my daughter, my youngest daughter, was in the kitchen. So she turned on the gas. You get? So I said, Mama, turn off that gas, please. The water is already boiled. She said, Mommy, how did you not turn on the gas? I said, Mama, please turn off that gas. She came in and was asking the dad, Daddy, Mommy is now seeing, how did Mommy I was laughing. So, I was able to hear that my senses, my hearing ability heightened. That
heard the water boil, heard the ignition of the gas cooker.
Yes, so that's just, God is wonderful.
God is wonderful.
So he knows how to compensate. It's just like somebody who is amputated on one hand. You find out that the other leg will be strong enough to still carry. Yeah. So it's just like that.
Interesting. So now I'm interested in the kids now.
Please be. No, you see, the truth of the matter is that for me, anybody who can really show your energy on children with disability, the adults you're already seeing, so to say, in quotes, the potentials. But you see those children, you don't know what they carry. They are the unknown. And you know what? The unknown, they are the mystery.
Yeah.
So if you, I watched a documentary just there before yesterday, a blind child that was abandoned by her parents, and a woman picked her up and
cared for her.
Yeah, and eventually the child, I'm like, wow. So the point here is this: anybody who can withstand the pressure, the patience, to care for this group, please do. There is reward in it.
Wow, precious. I'll say it again. I don't want to let you go out. In fact, I'm coming to your house.
It will be my greatest pleasure to have my darling.
Oh my goodness, you are such a gift. You are such a treasure, and the Lord will keep you.
Thank you so much.
And on that note, we have come to the end of this interview. You were so insightful. Thank you. I'm sure you must have strengthened just one person, and it's just enough.
Thank you.
It's just enough. God bless you.
Thank you, ma'am.
All right, and thank you for staying with us up until now. Don't go anywhere. New Day continues. You know when? Right after now. So stay with us.
Get plugged into the heartbeat of entertainment on The Hub, your ultimate show on eVibes. From trending stories and social media drama to top charting music, must-watch movies and exciting moments from the world of arts, we've got it all. Join us for unmissable conversations with your favorite entertainment personalities, plus fun segments every week.
So I should try harder. So
Okay, I don't know that one.
outfit of the day.
Oh, I don't do that. That's some Gen Z stuff.
Oh, now you say it's a Gen Z stuff.
It's everything you love about entertainment, served fresh every week at 1 p.m. with weekend repeats just in case you missed it. The Hub's on eVibes, where the vibes never stop. Only on Signature TV.